Hey guys, I know it's been a while since I've posted some videos, but I wanted to introduce you guys to our newest additions. And yes, this is a 3-tier home for my rats. We've had these guys since about middle of February, so I'm going to see if I can get them to come out. Now, I know a lot of people are like, oh, ew, rats as pets, gross. Well, I'll tell you what. Rats are the smartest, most social animals, other than like dogs and cats. But they're very sweet. If you get them that were hand tamed, they've been picked up a lot as babies, they're not going to bite you. Unless you're squeezing these poor animals to death, then they're not going to bite you, trust me. So, up here, this is LB, and he's in his little hammock. Say hi, LB. Oh, he's in his little hammock. He likes his hammock. He was the first one I got. I got him at PetSmart, and they had him in a cage by himself. And then they had 2 babies that were about 2 months old in a cage next to him. And one was like a tan hooded, and the other one was a black hooded. And being that they were like baby babies, they were just super hyper. They really didn't want to be held. And so I turned to him. I took him out. And he was just so calm and laid back, and he just wanted to sit up on my shoulder. He was just so sweet. So, he's about 5 months old now. But he was about 4 months old when I got him, and the guy or the lady there was like, no, it was a guy. He had said, I was like, I wonder why nobody's wanted him, and he pretty much told me because he was older, nobody really wanted him, and I'm like, well, screw them. So I took him home, and he has been the absolute sweetest rat ever. He is a black hooded, but Big Yon, you gonna come out and say hi? You gonna come out and say hi, Bubba? But he is an absolute sweetheart. I absolutely love him. But I don't think he's going to come out and say hi. He's going to sit in his hammock. Hi, Bubba. Hi. Go say hi. Say hi, YouTube. Yeah, I don't think he's going to come out. And then, later that night, because I had gotten him by himself, and they didn't have any other, like, older rats. So I went over to Petco, and, let's see, I went over to Petco, and I got this little guy here, which there was 4 males, and he was the only, like, crazy color out of the 3, the 4 of them. He's hiding back there. He was... the other 3 were like a tan hooded. He's back here. He's like a really crazy, like, burnt orange color. He's a hooded, but he's like super, super pretty. And so I took him home, and he was actually a little bit harder to tame. He's coming around now, but he was very squeaky, didn't want to be held, kind of nippy. See if I can get back here. Yeah, he's hiding. But it took me a while to get him to come around, and finally he's coming around. Treats are a must. But he's finally coming around. He loves to come out and run around. This is my daughter's room. But I let them run around and have some playtime. And then a couple weeks later, I went back to PetSmart, and they had some new rats. They had a little blue, it was like a bluish gray dumbo. And then they had this guy here, which is a Siamese dumbo. And I've never seen any... No, that's not food. As you can tell, I'm having to train him too. Good boy. But I've rarely ever seen Siamese Dumbos at a pet store, so no. Still, he's been doing really good. I don't know why all of a sudden he's wanting to bite. I don't have any food or anything on my hands. But, it's kind of like having a Siamese cat, the coloring at least. And, he is coming around. I had to work with him too because he wanted to be the dominating one, and he wanted to, you know, start stuff with the other two. But, it took him a little while to come around and get used to being handled and whatnot. But, no, he's really good. Normally he doesn't do that. Normally with rats, they'll nibble on you. They won't actually bite. But I'm still working on him. But his coloring is gorgeous. He is just so pretty. Huh. This is Jager. I saw him and I'm like, his name is Jager. But the funny thing is that I had gone in there. I didn't get him the first time I went in there, and then like I couldn't stop thinking about him and how pretty he was. So I went back and I picked him up, and he's just the cutest cutest little rat baby. And they're all about 5 months old, roughly. But they all have their own personalities. LB is just more like, you know, chilled out, laid back. Hi. And then Jager likes to be the dominating one. He can be Mr. Tuffy sometimes, but he's a pretty good rat. And then Cheedar Bob back here. He is kind of shy, but he likes to come out and explore. He just kind of minds his own business. Now I'm going to show you my newest rat baby that I got on Tuesday. You going to come out and say hi? This is Peanut. She is a Dumbo Rex rat. And if I can get her to come out, she's only about a month old, 4 or 5 weeks old. Peanut. She's my only girl rat at the moment. If I can get her to come out. But she is absolutely gorgeous. Oh my god, I've been wanting either a Rex or like a blue and white colored rat. And I found somebody on Craigslist that was giving these little guys away, and I absolutely fell in love with her. Peanut, come on. So I've only had her for 2 days, but yeah, she's an absolute sweetheart, and she's so cute and so tiny. She's just like a little mouse right now because she's so small. Sweetheart, come here. I don't want to creep her out too much. This is Peanut. As you can tell, she's just a baby. She's so tiny. So right now I've got her in a hamster cage because she was getting out of the other cage. But she's tiny. Wanna come say hi? Say hi? But you can tell she's like that really gorgeous blue Rex color. And she just got the Dumbo ears. Her daddy was a big old Dumbo. But they're so cute. And she's so sweet. She's not bitten me at all. She loves to be held. And she loves to explore. Huh. She loves to give kisses. Huh. But I'm gonna go ahead and put her back because she's getting kind of antsy here. Say bye. Here you go, baby. She wants to go hide. But yeah, they've been a little bit sneezy lately because I was using the Petco brand that Planet Petco bedding, and I didn't realize how like dusty it would be. So it's supposed to be like an eco-friendly, you know, bedding. However, it is very dusty, and they've been sneezing nonstop. They don't have any of the I forget what it's called, pophylline or something, pophylline. It looks like a lot of people mistaken it as blood, and it's a gland that they have that produces like this red tint that looks like blood, and it comes out of their eyes and it comes out of their nose. And none of them have any of that, so I know it's not a respiratory thing, it's the bedding. So I went ahead and I changed their bedding to the Carefresh Ultra, what is it, the Ultra Plush or something. And the sneezing has definitely died down. I've also been keeping my daughter's door open. My little chihuahua would like to come in here and torment the poor little rat. But I put a little baby gate up so they can't come in here now. So, but yeah, I mean, these guys are just super, super friendly. Rats are probably the best pets you could have if you don't want a dog, if you don't want a cat. They're very super social. They like to come out and play. Now, I mean, if you have multiple rats, you're going to want something like this. I paid about $80 for this on Amazon. And even if you didn't go with this exact cage, you're going to want something that they can climb up. You're going to want, like, you know, the wired cage. You have a little slide thingy down here. They got little hammocks in here to lay in. They've got a little blue bed up there. So you want something that they can be active in. You want to give them shelter that they can hide in, their food bowl. There's a little, like, rock-looking thing in there that they can chew on. Little salt blocks for them to chew on, because their teeth continuously grow. And if they don't have anything to chew on to shave their teeth down, it can actually, their teeth can grow through their head and kill them. So you don't want that. But yeah, you definitely want something that they can climb. They have plenty of room. This here can probably fit 4 to 5 rats easily. I personally would say no more than 4. There's 3 in here. I wouldn't even want to do 4 just because it would get kind of crowded with 4 males, but I'm not planning on getting any more. And then when Peanut gets older, I have her cage that she'll be in. But yeah, so you definitely want something roomy. If you have more than one, you want a big enough water bottle, because they do drink a lot of water. Hey, my little Peanut. She's coming out to say hi finally. But yeah, you never want to use cedar or pine shedding, because it is very toxic to rats and you can kill them very easily that way. They do have a couple of beddings that I would recommend, like Yesterday's News. They have the Carefresh, which is kind of expensive, but if you buy it off of Petco's website, it's actually a little bit cheaper than in the store. So this is, like, when it's compressed, it's like 25.7 liters, but when you're actually taking it out, and, you know, it expands to 50 liters, so I usually go through this about once a week, but because I have multiple rats, I usually clean it every 5 to 6 days. And with the baby, I won't have to clean hers but every week or so, because there's only her. Can you see a little nose? You must be tired. But yeah, you always want to make sure you have fresh water. They do have a liquid vitamin. You do like 2 to 3 drops every time you give them fresh water, and that's gonna help give them the vitamins that they need. I give them like little treat logs and little little branch looking thingies here. It helps them to keep their teeth down. But yeah, you don't want something that's going to be really dusty as far as the bedding goes, because it can give them respiratory problems. Anything that's like recycled newspaper, that's usually pretty good. So And rats do like hammocks, so this one actually came with the red one. I bought this one separately, which nobody really seems to be using. He likes that one. But yeah, I mean, if you guys have any questions or comments, feel free to leave them below, and I'll answer any questions that you have. And if you've never owned a rat before and you've been thinking about it, I can probably help you with that too. So yeah, I guess I will talk to you guys later. Bye.